Hi there, Andrew here. I love anime, but I have no patience. So I'm giving every new show of the summer 2017 season one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. Today I will be watching Fastest Finger First. Which finger? Is it one of these? Is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? Bunzo High School is welcoming its new first-year students. One of them, Koshiyama Shiki, is chosen to participate against his will in an impromptu fast-buzzing quiz. Now, how do you have an impromptu fast-buzzing quiz? I mean, you would need, like, a buzzer, right? I mean, that just seems like a thing that you don't just do off the cuff. Impromptu buzzer quiz! Well, really? Whatever. Impromptu fast-buzzing quiz met by the president of the Quiz Bowl Circle. Oh, okay. Well, the president of the Quiz Bowl Circle probably carries a buzzer around with him or her, so... okay. As a quiet boy who loves reading and doesn't want to stand out, Shiki is overwhelmed. But his classmate, Fukami Mari, is able to hit the buzzer and answer questions before the full question is given. As he watches her, Shiki realizes that there's a point in each question where the answer becomes certain. Alright, well, I'm guessing the kid in the front with the glasses and cowlick is Koshiyama Shiki. And Fukami Amari, I'm guessing, is the woman in the blue hairband. And I actually like the gal in the back, middle back with the red glasses up on her head. I just like that expression. And I don't like the guy who's got his eyes closed, because I hate characters who do that. You better be blind, buddy! There's no excuse to have your eyes closed like that. That's a pet peeve of mine in anime. Oh, interesting. The title says 703, Fastest Finger First. Okay, so probably essentially a sports anime. Alright, cool. Let's check it out. As of this very moment, I'm undecided as to whether I will watch episode 2. Perhaps in talking about it, I will come to a decision. Oh, by the way, the 703X on the top of the title, the show actually explains at the very end that that's a quiz terminology thing. It means... 703 means 7 correct answers to win, 3 incorrect, and you lose. So, now you know. It's a fine show. I can't say it's like, oh man, this is really good. It hooked me. No, it's just fine. It has a lot of things going for it. One, there's nothing really wrong with it. I feel like a smartass because I got most of the questions that they ask in the show correct. There was one author question that I'd never even heard of, so... oh well. There are a couple questions. One of the points is answering the question before the question is even read. So some of those I didn't get because you don't hear the full question, but... I felt like a smarty pants watching this show. I'm like, hey, I know most of these, so that's nice. Starts out with, it's the second day of school, and all the clubs are out trying to recruit members, and the quiz show guy is out there trying to recruit quiz show peoples, handing out paper quizzes. And, like, 2 other people from the crowd come up to him, and they're like, what is Quiz Bowl? And he says, Quiz Bowl is the thing that everyone in the world knows! I'm like, clearly they don't, because these 2 are asking you. And he explains the rules of this whole buzzer quiz thing. So, our hero and our other hero with the blue hairband, what are their names? Koshiyama Shiki and Fukami Mari. They both collect the paper quizzes, and he's sitting in class writing it down and, answering all the questions. And then he goes and he eats lunch in the library because he's a shy kid and doesn't really want to talk to anybody. Not that he's unfriendly, just shy. So he goes to the library among the books with which he's comfortable and sits between some of the stacks and just sits there and eats his lunch. Well, Fukami Mari comes walking down the aisle that he's sitting in. What it looks like is she's looking for a book to answer a question in her paper quiz, which she has held out in front of her. And she doesn't see Goofball sitting on the floor here. So she accidentally just trips over him. He's like, I'm thinking, oh no, oh no. She's going to fall on him. He's going to accidentally be holding her breasts. They're going to do that thing again. No, they don't. She just trips over him. And he's like, oh, crap. I'm like, oh, we're going to have an upskirt shot. No! You don't. I mean, it's very, very clear that he can see up the back of her skirt, but they don't do the actual upskirt shot. So, well done, show. I am impressed. Not only that, but the fact that he sees her underwear is a running joke throughout the rest of the episode that's actually really funny and really well produced. I didn't think you had it in you, anime, but you done good. Basically what happens is he's really embarrassed that he accidentally saw up her dress, and so is she. She runs away, leaving her quiz paper. And he notices that she has little hash marks in the middle of each question. And he figures out later that that's the point of the question, the point in the question where she's like, I know what the answer is. This is the earliest point in the question that you can figure out what the answer is without hearing the rest of the question. A technique that he was heretofore unaware of. So every time she walks past or she comes up in conversation or she comes over to talk to him, a little thought bubble with her underwear appears and he's like, stop it! He just can't get it out of his head, which is cute and funny. It's really well done. And so they're at a school assembly, and all the different clubs are making their pitches. And the quiz king dude, whatever, comes out and does the impromptu quiz section, although I think it was planned because he had the table and the buzzers and the questions already. I don't think it was that impromptu. Maybe from the audience's perspective. But so our two leads, Mari and Shiki, they end up there along with 4 other people. And they do a quiz, and he kind of learns as he goes. She does. You can see her posing with her, kind of brushing her hair off of her ear. She does that when she's getting her hair out of the way of her ear so she can really listen, so that she can wham hit the buzzer as soon as she knows what the answer is going to be. And they do this really interesting visual effect where they smack the buzzer and then it kind of illustrates what's going on in their thoughts and in their minds as they try and use the 5 seconds they have to answer to puzzle out what the rest of the question is going to be. For example, the question starts with the opening line of a novel, and he slams on the buzzer because he recognizes the opening line. And he has to figure out, well, what are they going to ask? Are they going to ask the name of the author who wrote it, or the name of the book that line appears in? Well, he said that it was going to be a hard question, and the author is really well known, so they're probably asking for the name of the book, which is one of the lesser known works, which would make it a harder question. So that's why he goes with that, and he gets the answer right. And he's like, oh, the quiz bug has bitten! Another has been taken by the quiz bug. And it's all interesting. It's going to be a sports show, competition show, and those are always, or very oftentimes, just a lot of fun to watch. So I'm slightly inclined to watch the second episode and see if it's going to be one of those that's a lot of fun. It seems to be off on the right foot. It's probably going to depend on my mood and the rest of the shows I watch this season. If every other show is like great, this one I may not get around to it. But we'll see. I'm liking it so far. Oh, and so she comes up to him after school. Says, "Hey, do you have my quiz paper? Because I dropped it in the library when I fell over you." And he goes, "Oh yeah." And she goes, "This is not mine." He goes, "Oh shoot, this one's yours." And he talks to her a bit and explains how he got that one question in the quiz correct, because she didn't know the answer to it at all. But she's super impressed that he's figured this out. That one, he's genuinely really knowledgeable when it comes to trivia and stuff like that. And he's also figuring out this high-level quiz answering technique pretty quickly. So she says, and this ties the underwear joke together, she says, "I forgive you for seeing my underwear." Which just kind of comes out of nowhere. He's like, what? And she says, "In exchange, you join the quiz club because we could use your power and together take over the world." Not exactly, but something like that. So I'm really not doing the joke justice. I think the underwear joke in this show, it's a running joke, and it plays really, really well without being skeevy. And for anime, that's pretty impressive. Color me impressed. Even though I remain pasty white. See you next time.